Hey guys, we are back. This is What's Done in the Dark Tea, and we are doing our review of Love Island Season 8, Episode 20. If you guys could do me a favor, do all the things, like, follow, share, subscribe, all the things, and leave me a comment. I want to hear from you guys on the topics. So whenever the episode starts off, we get Kata talking to Shay. And this was actually a cute conversation. They talked about like the future, what they thought their weddings would look like. Kata is a elopement kind of girl, and it looks like Shay is really big into family. I don't know what his ethnicity is. I heard him say his sister had a large Indian wedding, and I thought that was really cool. Those are beautiful. So I should have looked to see, but I don't know if he said it since the show. Kata said that she's locked in to get to know him. I'm still not believing at this point that she's 100% in, but we'll get to what happens later, and I think that may push her a little further into exploring, because I really don't want her with Zach, so I just want her to explore a little bit more, but we'll see. We get another shot of Zach and Wings, Alana. And this, I'm guessing, because we see her a few times, so I'm guessing this was before she was taken off. I'm guessing a lot of this stuff is a little bit behind, but we see them, they're talking. She lets him know that she's holding back because she can tell that he is still interested in his connection in the villa, and she's trying to be respectful. He says that he can't deny that he is thinking about Kata, but they do share a kiss. Then we get a conversation between Jen and Gal. Gal lets Jen know that he wants to talk to Kenzie. I honestly, Jen and Gal, I don't know. They are a very, very boring couple, and I could see why he would want to talk to Kenzie. I couldn't tell you what Kenzie's type is for real, because she is just so, well, she wouldn't want to hear this, but she's so lustful that I honestly can't tell what her type is. Like, man is her type at this point. Like, I have no idea. I could see Kenzie with either one of them, but that does not make Jen feel good that he wants to talk to Kenzie. Jen has a conversation with Trinity and Anaya, and she pretty much lets them know that she's upset. She's not feeling the whole thing. She likes her men to be obsessed with her. She feels like he's not. She's not liking that he wants to get to know Kenzie. And then it's like immediately, because, as soon as Gal tells her that he wants to talk to Kenzie, she's like, oh, well, I guess you should get to it then. And then he really does go and like immediately pull Kenzie. And I'm like, golly. Like, you didn't even give it 2 seconds, but I mean, I guess get to the point, because all that's happening at the same time. Like, Jen immediately goes and talks to Trin and Anaya and lets them know that she's not feeling it. So this is when they're getting ready for bed, and we get a conversation between KC and Sydney, and he is pretty much telling her that he feels his connection with TT stronger, and he is going to sleep with her. KC, in the last episode, I said that I would get over my ick for Casey if somebody else out-icked him, but so far, that is yet to happen. Him and Corbin, yeah, I don't know. They're neck and neck for ick, so neither of them are out-icking the other one at this point. It's bedtime. We see Kenzie is kissing, Corbin is kissing, Sin is kissing. I don't know if KC was kissing. I might have missed that, but I did think it was very interesting that, again, Sin is kissing. He's talking about explore. I don't know what his definition of explore is. Like, every time that he says he wants to explore someone, he gets into like a whole emotional relationship with them, and I'm just not understanding what is going on. Like, why can't you simply just You could have kissed the girl one time. You could have had some conversations. Y'all could have held hands. You could have maybe even cuddled a little bit. But this is the second time that you've gotten into like a complete and total emotional relationship with a girl, and in my opinion, have absolutely no intention on being with them. You want to go back to Melanie, but you just want to frame everything as exploring. Like, exploring can only go so far. I don't know what's going on. Then we get a shot of KC kissing. Of course he is. I mean, they weren't kissing in bed, but we do get to see them kiss the next day. And it's like, of course. Then in the villa, we get a conversation between Dylan and Kinsey, and they both say that they're very happy in their connection. And this is what I mean about Kinsey, because this is kind of the same thing that she did when she was talking to Caleb, is that she would tell him like, everything is good, we have a great connection, but then she'd be in her confessionals or talking to someone else, and it's like, but I'm also feeling this person. Like, from the conversations you hear her have with Dylan, you would never think that she is saying that she likes Gall as well. I just think that the way that she moves is just very, like, she is very, very, like, makes everybody feel like they're all in. And I just don't understand why you couldn't just be like, I kind of like you. I kind of like you. Everything has to be so far in. And I don't know about that. Zach says that he's trying to explore, but he's having a really hard time because he's thinking a lot of Kata. And see, here's the thing. I do not like Zach. I don't like their dynamic, whatever. But I still think that they're going to pick each other. We get a conversation. Sin is talking, because Sin and Zach are having a conversation. Sin is still saying that he's leaning into the experience, and he owes it to Amora and himself to explore. And again, I don't know what kind of exploration calls for getting somebody completely and totally emotionally invested in you. I'm not understanding it. Like, I would rather... Here's the thing. Cheaters suck either way, but I would rather have a wham bam thank you. Well, I'd rather have neither of them. Ugh, gross. But in this particular situation, I would rather have a wham bam thank you ma'am kind of cheater than an emotional cheater, because I know that Melanie has to be going through it, because with Soul, he barely even talked to me, even though he had no intentions on being with Melanie or Soul, and he was just trying pistachio or whatever the hell he said. He still did Melanie so dirty just to pursue that connection. Like, he did not even talk to her for the longest time. And it's like, he just gets so emotionally involved with these women, and it's insane. I don't understand it. I don't know what he be saying, but those are the worst kind of cheaters. It really is. Then we get a conversation between Caleb and Jaden. They say it's a little bit of a slow burn. Honestly, they are so freaking boring. And I love Caleb. I want to see more of Caleb, but I don't know if he's just too nice for this show. I don't know if his relationship with Jaden is just a little boring. I don't know. Whenever I saw him in the first Casa episodes, and he was doing the whole Woody thing, I feel like okay. I was on Threads and I saw this, and I didn't even realize it at the time, but Rob, Nick, and Caleb all have been the cowboy, and those are arguably some of the best looking men that have been on Love Island. Okay? I would say it was like the best looking guys in each of their seasons, but Miguel was in Rob's season, so we can't even say that, but definitely far up. That season was a difficult season because everybody in that season, that was a season of good looking men. But last season, the only guy there that looked good was Nick. Sorry, Ola, and not even in that way. He looks good for you. The only guy on that cast that looked good was Nick, and they all dressed as Woody from Toy Story, and I think that that's a sign. I want Caleb with someone else. I want to see more Caleb. But if he's happy, because they did say that they liked each other, so I'm going to leave it alone. He's from South Carolina. I live in South Carolina. We're all rooting for Caleb here. Everybody I talk to is rooting for Caleb here. So we need Caleb some more airtime. And if he doesn't really like Jaden, then can we get another bombshell for Caleb at this point? Who cares about the other guys? If Caleb and Bryce could just take us through the rest of the season, honestly. We get a conversation between Casey and Corbin, and they start talking about TT and Pramita. And this is so weird. This is why I was saying he's not going to be able to get me out of this ick, because it's like him and Corbin just sitting there, just seeing who can be the biggest piece of shit is just, I don't know. But they pretty much say that the girls in the villa are like high school and the girls in Casa are like college. You've known them for 3 days. What did the girls in the villa do to you? What about them gives high school compared to these girls that's giving college? All of them, I feel like, whether it be the girls in the villa or the girls in Casa, all of them were doing too much for the men that they have currently in there. Every single one of them deserved better. Every single one of them deserved better. I really didn't like how they were talking about I didn't really like how they were talking about the girls or whatever, but it is what it is. Corbin says that he hasn't thought about Kinsey the whole time that they've been in the villa, and Casey doesn't give a fuck. He says that he's not thinking about Anaya, and of course he's not. Of course he's not. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. We get a conversation between Jen, Mel, and Trinity. They're catching up. Jen is still over the situation with Gal. Melanie is saying that she is conflicted because she really does like Corey, but her and Sincere were so good before they left for Casa, and she just doesn't know where they stand. But with everything that people have told her, she doesn't want to look stupid, but she really does care about KC. We get a conversation between Zach and Sin, and they are jealous of the challenge because we're the night before. Keep in mind, we're coming off the heels of the challenge the night before where they were going head to head, and both of them lost against their partners in the challenge, and they are wondering what they were doing and just feeling overall jealous about that. Anaya, Kata, and KC talk about Anaya, Kata, and Kenzie talk about Carl, and they all seem to like him. And I really liked this conversation because I think it was very needed. Kenzie made a lot of good points. Now, I know I do say that Kenzie is a crash out and she is lustful, but I do think that she made it a good point here. She was pretty much letting him know, like, the guys in the villa are not holding back, and if you don't take advantage of this situation and then you walk into that, and you are going to feel really stupid because they're not holding back. And I was really glad that she said that. A lot of times I don't agree with Kenzie, but whenever it comes to, there are certain people, and I feel like Kenzie is one of them. I've had friends like this in my life, and they just have the ability to just like move on. Like, they will care about something, but they're going to move on. Like, they're going to get a new man. And I feel like Kenzie is one of those people. And sometimes you just need that. It's not always that you need to jump to a man. Sometimes you need to heal. Sometimes you need to go on a healing journey. I'm on a healing journey. But there are times where you need that person around that's just like, you got to move on. And I think that she is that person. So I think that is cool in that conversation. We get the shortest Love Island announcement ever. Alana is out of the villa. That it flashed so quickly on the screen, I almost didn't even see it. They didn't even care enough to even base any conversations about it. They didn't talk about her being gone. She got one little sentence on the screen and poof. She was gone as quick as she got there. Bye, Alana. A lot of this was just fluff and filler. I'm not even going to lie. We get a conversation between Caleb and Jaden. They seem to like each other in a very boring way. We get a conversation between Sin and Amora. Sin lets her know that his major, I believe, in school was education with a focus or a minor in ASL, like sign language. And she let him know that she is a majorette dancer. And then there's more kissing, because I guess that's what Sincere needs to do to explore, is create a whole nother relationship. Melanie and Corey talk. They're talking love languages, and they seem to be hitting it off. I really want Mel to explore and find somebody. I wish in the other guys, because I just feel like they pick so quickly that now they're on limited options. I feel like if they would have had some of those other guys in there, not saying that they would have picked any of them or anything like that, but I just think, I don't know, it could have opened up the options. Maybe one of those guys would have been more compatible with her, but if you had to pick after knowing somebody for a couple hours, you would have never known. Then we get the mailboxes showing up. There's a mailbox in Casa, and there is a mailbox in the villa. Kinsey opens the mailbox. She says they've got mail. She tells the girls that they're going to want to see it. They open the mail. It is like a collage of pictures of the boys in Casa Amor and what they've been doing. Sincere is biting a lip. Zach is kissing somebody. I don't know what Anaya was even upset about. Like, I literally have no idea. Like, whenever she started getting that look on her face and she was like, I knew it was the bitch with the Fulani braids. I knew it was the bitch with the Fulani braids. Like, it could have been a warm apple pie. Call him Jason Biggs. It did not matter. That man is disgusting. Get over there and throw some thigh on Carl, girl. Carl likes you. You're having conversation. KC doesn't respect anybody. He is showing his ass in Casa. Drop it. It made me so mad, which it's like, I can understand her emotions, but it's like, of all the people there, out of all the girls there, if anybody has the receipts to bring somebody back to the frickin' villa, it's you. Every other girl could be surprised by their man's decision. Except for you. Well, except for Kinsey. But Kinsey doesn't even count because that wasn't even real. Every single one. But you. Anaya, do not piss me off. Then we get a shot of... It was actually kind of really, really sad because Kata doesn't... I don't like Zach, but Kata doesn't even know that, like, yeah, I mean... They kissed a few times, but that girl's gone and she has absolutely no idea. And she is so sad. She's so heartbroken, but I don't know. I hope that broken heart pushes her into the arms of Shay, because I just don't like Zach. Okay. And then this is the weirdest part of the whole episode. This is the weirdest part of the whole freaking episode, because KC sees the pictures of Anaya with someone else and he gets jealous. This man gets jealous and is upset. Oh, she never did that with me. She was never physical like that with me. She never put her thigh on me, because she could tell that you were full of shit. You are not entitled to anything about that woman. You were dragging her along. You didn't want to be with, you never gave her a safe space. All of those performative ass talks that you kept giving her about being the blueprint, just so that you could... I'm convinced. I know that Anaya has got on my nerves, and I know a lot of people on the internet have been on Anaya's ass. But if you really look at the clips from what everyone was saying, she was more so crashing out because what he was telling her versus what everybody else in the villa was seeing or saying were completely different things. And even though production was not showing us having those conversations with the guys, now that he's been in Casa Amor and we see him actually talking about Anaya, none of them are surprised, because this is exactly how he was talking about Anaya when she was in the villa. Sin is saying that he feels conflicted because he's built a whole emotional relationship with another girl. So surprise, surprise. Anaya, Mel, and Kata have a conversation, and after the pictures... Oh, let me back up, because we only talked about the girls' mailbox challenges, but the guys also got a mailbox, and in their we did talk about it a little bit because Casey was upset, but we missed the major part is Bryce got to see a picture of Trinity kissing old buddy in the photo booth, and he was so upset. But then we get this clip of Bryce later on, and he's saying how he was down on himself, but he was looking at the pictures, and Trinity, he knows what they had in all this time, and if they go back, he's willing to like throw it all on the line, and if it works out, then they'll be closed off and all of that. And those are my winners right there. Since the beginning, I've been voting Trinity and Bryce, and I will continue to vote Trinity and Bryce. I can't wait until that they see how much they were both feeling the exact same way. That's what I feel like Love Island is about. That is an appropriate amount of exploring. Here, Anaya, Mel, and Kata have a conversation, and I really liked this because it's after the challenge, and Mel is pretty much telling them that they need to stand up, that they need to get in the game, that they need to be present, that they've seen enough, that they need to be in it. And I'm like, thank you, Mel, for Mel and Kinsey get my stars this week because they're the only people so far that have had a moment of clarity. Because I'm like, Anaya, if you don't turn that smile upside down, honey, Carl is handsome. He's a handsome nerd, and he looks like he will take care of you. Go over there and let that man be your shoulder to cry on. Okay? Again, Jen and Kinsey both like Gal. I don't know if they're just doing this to make a storyline, to make them have a storyline. Either way, I'm not going to lie. I could really care less. It is super boring. We get a conversation between Shay and Kata, and they're talking, and it's after the picture challenge. She's being very supportive. She's letting him know, you know, Zach a chihuahua and you a big dog. And yes, Kata, that's a big dog, and you need to kiss that man. That's what I was saying the whole time that they were sitting there. I'm like, Kata, kiss that man. He is fine. Before y'all get back together and you have to pick your couple, kiss that man. Kiss that man. Then we get a conversation between Jen and Ronnie, and I'm not going to lie, it seems a little bit better than Jen and Gal. They kiss. It seems like they have good chemistry. Whatever. Still more people that I don't really care about, but it does seem that they like each other. Mel and Corey talk, and I think that he's good for her. I really do. I think that he's a nice guy. He seems to be really into her. I think that he's saying all the right things. Minus 10 points for the bedazzled jeans. That made me uncomfortable. Don't ever wear those again. But other than that, I think they're okay. And then we see Anaya and Kata sneaking around. They're watching them have a conversation, and, you know, everything is cute. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. And then we get some clips for tomorrow. And it looks like there's going to be a recoupling, and we'll probably get to vote at the end of tomorrow. Well, at the end of tomorrow night, maybe. Yeah, tomorrow would be the last episode for the week. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if we're voting tomorrow or if we're voting Sunday. I'm not really sure, but there's a vote coming on. So everybody get your Love Island apps ready so that we can vote. But that was Love Island Season 8, Episode 20. Y'all sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think about KC. How do you feel about him and what he said about Anaya? What do you think about Corbin and Pramita? You think she just wants to be on the show? I kind of feel that way about Dylan. I didn't like the direct look at the camera. I feel like they're a little clout chasey vibes, but y'all sound off on the comments. This has been What's Done in the Dark Tea. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, follow, do all the things, and we will be back tomorrow night with more Love Island content. Y'all have a good night. Bye.